Rashida, and every other congresswoman of color. He labeled all Muslims as terrorists and all Latinos as rapists, but he still claims that he's the least racist person. Fuck that guy!
That's a lie!
Right? Chicago.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We're still in Chicago here. We are live right now at another anti-Trump rally outside Trump Towers. Thanks for joining us here at Unicorn Riot. Again, we're going to go right into this anti-Trump rally in front of Trump Towers here in Chicago.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated.
Again, thanks for joining us. We have more speakers coming up here. Again, we're still in Chicago here. We're here to cover the teachers' strike. Trump is coming in today. People organized to protest him. So here's
Students for a Democratic Society. We are currently leading the struggle against UIC's partnership with the CIA. The partnership gives the CIA access to the campus and its students for the purpose of recruitment and they are targeting students of color, particularly students that speak Arabic and Spanish, to essentially help them overthrow their own governments from their home countries, which is what the CIA does. Now, why am I here? Because I've had enough. I've had enough of an administration that has divided the people of this country through emboldenment of white supremacists, expansion of concentration camps, further militarization of the border, increased surveillance, repression of whistleblowers, exclusion of trans people from civil rights laws, demonization and banning of Muslims, hindrance of women's reproductive rights, sabotage of the labor movement, neglect of the planet, and regions like Flint, Michigan, or Puerto Rico in light of Hurricane Maria, and countless other attacks on our population.
Woo! Fuck that shit!
But let's not forget that Trump's actions extend much further than our borders, and people around the world are suffering the consequences of Trump's foreign policy to this day. He has continued 7 wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Libya, and Niger, recently withdrawing troops from northern Syria, but ultimately keeping them in the country to protect oil. He literally said that was the reason. Under Trump, bombings have increased 255% to the tune of 121 bombs a day, which translates to over 44,000 a year. And I wish I could say this is all Trump's fault, but I can't say that because both political parties voted to give him $674 billion for more war. If we want things to change, we have to take things into our own hands. We can no longer sit by and watch our leaders fail us again and again. I've been inspired by the recent uprisings in Puerto Rico, the Philippines, Palestine, Haiti, Honduras, Ecuador, Chile, Lebanon, Egypt, France, Catalonia, Algeria, and Iraq. And I hope the same revolutionary spirit driving those movements will rub off on us today and give us the courage to fight back against the U.S. empire and its biggest proponent yet, Donald Trump. Thank you.
No, please.
Not going to say a whole lot. I just wanted to add and say that Donald Trump is not a fluke. He's a symptom of this whole fucked up system that we live in. I don't think there's ever been a president who hasn't committed atrocities around the world to support capitalism. And so I just want to repeat that even after 2020, even no matter what happens in the next few months, years, whatever, we can't slow down at all. We can't slow down at all. I have a sign here that says, at this point, just throw the whole system away. We can't just sit around acting like this is all okay and that just some random person is going to fix it all. We have to all band together and change the whole fucking system together.
Power to the people!
Power to the people!
Hey comrades, my name's Ken. I'm from 33rd Ward Working Families, where the organization is behind Rosana Rodriguez, one of the 6 socialist aldermen. Comrades, I'm also here because I'm a part of the coalition to close the concentration camps. We're supposed to live in the world's greatest democracy. We're also the main democracy that has fucking concentration camps. Which is why I'm here to protest Donald Trump being in our city, a city built on immigration, built on immigrant labor, one of the most diverse cities in the entire goddamn country. We can't let this happen. I like what the other comrade said. I think I want to try to build on that. Donald Trump isn't just dangerous because of his policies and all that. The other thing that he's dangerous about is that he's actually a rallying point, right? For him, or what he says and what he does, he's actually a really great rallying point for the far right. The neo-Nazis, the fascists, they love what he's talking about, and he becomes a rallying point to recruit them. Because he turns immigration to a right-wing topic. He talks about nationalism and racism, and that's what he uses to build himself up and to help build them up. We are of the left wing. We've got to use immigration from a left-wing perspective. Anti-racism, anti-imperialism. That's how we build our side to fight their side. We have to build up the left wing so we can fight and crush the right wing. That's why I'm here. That's also why there's a sign-up sheet spreading around. We need to recruit more people to our cause. We need to get ourselves organized. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Today's protests have been very disorganized, comrades. Very, very disorganized indeed. We need to make sure that in the future, when Trump is in town, we have a coherent plan, and we need you to do that. Thank you, comrades. Thanks for being here. And I hope more folks will share their stories about why they're here and what brought them out.
Again, please just join us. We are in front of Trump Towers, a rally against Trump. He was supposed to be in Chicago. I think it's no longer here anymore, but people still want to come out and say why they were against him being in town, what they feel towards him. So,
Everyone, how's it going?
These folks are speaking here soon.
I'm Jeffrey. This is my friend Patrick. We're both from UIC Fearless Undocumented Alliance, better known as FUA. Last time that Trump was here, FUA was here in presence. We were trying to get him out, and we got him out in collaboration with everybody else, okay? We fight for the rights of undocumented students. We know that undocumented students don't have the same access to higher ed as everyone else, and that's why we're here in solidarity with CTU, SEIU, and all the student orgs here.
There we go. Okay, cool. So, the reality is that our fight for justice does not start or end with Trump. But fascism is only heightened under the Trump administration. The institution itself of UIC, the same institution that prides itself on diversity, is also the same institution that has displaced generations of immigrants and people of color in the UIC neighborhood. The university that props up the words urban and equality is the same institution that's black population is 8% in a city of in the city of Chicago, which back excuse me, sorry. In a city where we have 33% black people and it's predominantly people of color, our institution does not reflect the population of the city of Chicago. This is institutional racism. Someone like Trump is the epitome of all of this. We don't have to be inside the walls of Congress for our voices to be heard. But the work starts on the ground, in the streets, right here, protesting, in communities. UIC, Chicago, and all places need to be sanctuary spaces for all people to feel safe in their communities. This looks like the abolishment of ICE. This is not a radical concept. This is basic. This is what communities deserve.
And let's not forget about the kids. Here's a chant. While kids are encaged, we are enraged. While kids are encaged, we are enraged. While kids are encaged, we are enraged. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good.
Can you hear me? Yes! I'm going to say one very quick thing. Hold on. I'm going to say one really quick thing. We need to be occupying this building, and we need to be getting arrested by sitting in. That will get Donald Trump's attention, and that will get the country's attention. We need to sit in buildings. Thank you. Woo! Do it!
Hey everybody. So my name is Kobe and I'm here from the Chicago Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. Now first and foremost, I just want to say fuck Donald Trump. But more than that, and I think what we need to be saying when Donald Trump is out of office is fuck white supremacy. Because white supremacy is a global system. White supremacy is a centuries-old system. Since slavery, since genocide, white supremacy has been torturing and incarcerating black and brown people for hundreds of years across the world. Okay, so I'm going to keep this brief, but when Donald Trump says that he wants to protect police officers, what he's saying is he wants them to be able to incarcerate more black and brown children. Right? Now kids are in cages at the border, kids are in cages in Palestine, kids are in cages all over America where it is legal and it is seen as something that is perfectly okay to do, to put a child in prison for something that they did not do. They torture confessions out of children. They've been doing this for decades. Now, what I do want to plug and what I have some flyers for, and I've passed these out to a few people at the back, is we're having a conference to refound the National Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. Now this is the organization that got Angela Davis out of prison. This is the organization that has been freeing political prisoners since 1973. And we are refounding it nationally. It still exists in Chicago, it is still doing work in Chicago, but we need to be doing work all over the country because we need systemic change. Now I'm just gonna say a chant. From Palestine to the Philippines, fuck white supremacy. From Palestine to the Philippines, fuck white supremacy. From Palestine to the Philippines, fuck white supremacy.
Everybody's just joining us. We're out the side of Trump Towers. You can see right there. It is tall. Some folks are rallying against Trump. Trump was supposed to be in Chicago today. There was an earlier anti-Trump march. Maybe 1,000 people ended up here. We heard this was going on too, so we wanted to come out and just kind of bring this to you. We're in Chicago. Let's bring you at least what we're seeing happening. So again, this is an anti-Trump rally, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, my name is Sean Garcia-Calusa. I don't represent anyone but myself. I am a queer person, however. I do exist in that realm of reality. And Donald Trump's policies and Mike Pence's policies and really the system in general does not work for queer people, especially trans women of color. There are countless of unheard stories of black trans women being killed and misgendered by police, by family members, at funerals and things like that. We all are a community, from cisgender to transgender, from gay to straight, from white to black to Muslim to Christian to atheist. We can work together and take down this establishment that doesn't start with this asshole. It is revealed by this asshole. He brought the underbelly of the United States and showed its face to the world. And here we are standing together against him. A lot of you probably had to work today. I had to work today. We are part of a capitalistic system that needs to be destroyed. We need to take down the systematic oppression that happens to people of color, to gay people, to women on a daily fucking basis. It is ridiculous how often I see women mistreated in the workplace. And no matter how many times I say something, who's going to listen to a queer femboy in a leadership position? Not very many people, I can tell you that. So just remember that you have power. I know a couple people have already mentioned that tonight. You have power. You need to vote. You need to be informed. I don't care who you vote for. I don't want you to vote for him. But vote. Be informed. Find out who your representatives are. Find out who your alderman is. What are they doing for community? My alderman, Alderman Kappelman, is doing nothing for my community. He's destroying my community. There is a school in Uptown that is being turned into loft spaces. Why is that? Why is it not still a school? Where is the funding going? Where are my taxes going? Can I get a budget? Can I get a readout? Can I get a receipt, please? So, I guess that's all I gotta say, stand together, be strong, work together and be compassionate. That's about as much as we can do.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
No Trump, no KKK, no root. No KKK, no fascist USA!
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
All right, we have one more speaker, and then I'm gonna close us out and talk about next steps.
Hey, thanks so much. My name is Stephanie, and I'm one of the band leaders of Clamor and Lace Noise Brigade. It's a glam marching band comprised of people of marginalized genders. I often feel really helpless when it comes to the current state of our world, but one time when I don't feel so helpless is when I'm playing music in support of a cause that I care about. So we just wanted to go ahead and tell you about an action that we're going to be participating in this Thursday and invite you to join us.
So, on Thursday, that's Halloween. Close your mouth. Oh.
On Thursday, Halloween, I can't think of any better place to be than playing for children in front of the Heartland Alliance Immigrant Children Detention Center in Rogers Park at the corner of Ashland and Morse. So we're going to be there with the radical punk marching band Clamor and Lace and the Rogers Park Network, Solidarity Network. Any of you want to show up, wear a costume, bring a drum. We'll be hanging out, entertaining the kids. Hopefully they'll be looking out their windows. We did this in Boston at the ICE Detention Center a couple of weeks ago. It was one of the most moving experiences of my life because the people inside were dancing and showing us love. They could hear us through the windows, and it was incredible. So if you're looking for something to do on Halloween, Heartland Alliance, Immigrant Children's Detention Center. There's 100 kids being held in there. They don't know where their parents are, and their parents don't know where they are. Thank you.
All right, folks. So this is where we stand. As we heard from all of these speakers, we live in a city that is extremely diverse. A city of working class people, a city of oppressed people, a city of colonized people. People who want to see this motherfucker gone, but not for the same reasons that the people in Congress want him gone. Not for the same reasons that his own cabinet members are now wanting him gone. Not for the same reasons that the people at Fox News increasingly want him gone. And yet, that's what's talked about on television. But we need to make sure not only that he's gone, but he's gone because we say he's going. Because people who experience the brunt of his oppressive bullshit want him gone. That's not going to happen unless we make it happen. And so it's not going to happen just from today, clearly. So, Ken earlier spoke about a sign-up sheet that's been floating around. It's now up here. If you want to, we are going to continue to organize protests. There are going to be protests that are happening nationally. There have already been announcements. The New York Times is even publishing a call for sustained protests to push him out of office. As we're seeing all over the world, masses of people are sick of this system, and not just Donald Trump, but the entire system that produced him. And we want to bring that here. Chicago has a crucial role to play in leading that struggle and initiating it nationally, from below. So if you're interested in being a part of that, if you're an organization or just an individual who wants to be a part of that and to keep informed and to stay connected, please come up here, share your contact information. And just as importantly, before you leave, go talk to somebody here that you don't know, introduce yourself, talk about what brought you out, Because if we're going to build that kind of movement, it's not going to happen because we have events where, you know, some organization with a bunch of foundation money puts on an event with a bunch of speakers. It's going to be events like this, where the people ourselves and our grassroots organizations come together and defend each other from this motherfucker. Thank you.
Here, let's
Going to teachers!
Stop this one.
Getting out the teachers!
My son Kyle. Is it brand new? This is Fatima.
We all hate Donald Trump.
Anybody want to talk about why they're here at all? I'm just.
Yeah, this is Kyle. He's one of the newest of our generation who wants Donald Trump gone. Why don't you speak a little bit, Kyle? This is my son, and I would like him to speak a little bit about why he knows why Trump doesn't belong in Chicago anymore.
Okay, so let me explain something to you, okay? You remember Hitler? That old terrible guy, you know? Like there's this thing called the Holocaust, and there's these things called concentration camps. And Donald Trump is making them again for innocent children who, just for stupid ass reasons. Like, come on, man.
I'm here because actually I was reading The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, and we're basically seeing a trend today that is exactly the trend that happened when Hitler rose to power. The war of propaganda was fought with propaganda, lies, and the same kind of institutionalized racism that spread throughout the society. And Germany was an educated society. They said they needed more room. They needed to cut off borders, and that's what Trump is doing. He's using the same exact policies that Hitler did. I'm not comparing America to Germany. I'm comparing the style. This is what democracy looks like. We're following the same patterns that they did to destroy half of a society, of a culture. And we're doing it again today. If we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. And we are repeating it because Trump is using the same exact tactics that Hitler did.
I guess, like, how do you stop this? Besides, everyone wants to impeach Trump. That's why folks came here. Is that the only way to stop what's happening, or is, like, if Trump is gone, will this kind of continual push to the right continue in the United States to you?
Personally, I think we need to get rid of Trump and Brett Kavanaugh because the Supreme Court also has to go back to being part of our justice system that we can trust. But Trump definitely has to be gone just because he's the most abominable advocate of racism and oppression in America. What do you think, Kyle?
Well, like, we can really like help get him out by having more people join the left side and stuff. But like, it's kind of hard because I had a friend who was on the right, but like, you know, should
education?
Well,
educating people who don't know any better?
Yeah, like what's his name? Who made Fahrenheit 11?
Oh, Roger Moore.
No, Michael Moore.
Michael Moore.
I think it's Michael Moore, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be like Michael Moore, I guess, but a rapper too, you know? Stuff like that. Yeah. Dr. Dre and Michael Moore combined, I guess, is me. I don't know.
Like a documentarian rapper.
Absolutely. I think we should fight propaganda with propaganda. I think the more people that we get out here who are big stars, the people who are definitely people that have a large following and influence, the more they are on our side, the more we can fight from the inside as well. Fight propaganda with propaganda.
I guess, like, how do people talk? Like, how do people meet? How do people talk to each other? You know, I feel like I don't know.
Well, like, wait, like, you mean like how do things like this happen?
How do you keep communicating? I guess, you know, it's like everyone says, like, use social media to communicate, but is that the only way to communicate, I guess?
Through social media?
Yeah.
Well, we're here protesting, you're interviewing, I mean, you're cold, but you're out here in the cold asking people what to do, and I mean, everyone has a voice, and you're here to hear people's voices. That's what we do. We do what you do. You know, you're doing it. You should, I mean, look at yourself. You're answering your own question.
We should basically, yeah, we should use social media, but we should also go to the streets more, like hand out flyers, stuff like that. Maybe go like do sit-ins and stuff, or like read stuff on the red line and like tell people what's wrong with Donald Trump, and then yeah.
I think we should put out more propaganda against Trump the same way he uses propaganda for his causes. We should use it against him.
I guess if you could sum up like how do your causes differ from Trump's causes, I guess?
My cause is for the human race. Trump's cause is for himself.
Thank you for speaking with me. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to move through here, see if there's anyone else. Chanting.
We don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Make some noise.
So we want to talk about over here at all? No, we want to talk about over here? No. All right. Microphone. You want to talk about over here at all?
No Trump, no KKK, no racist USA. No Trump,
we're gonna take it down.
no KKK, no racist USA.
We're gonna move over here.
No Trump, no KKK, no racist USA. 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 Woo! Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 If we don't get it, shut it down.
You want to talk to me about your son?
Yeah, just a big fuck you to the president, you know, where he's not welcome here. He's not welcome amongst the working class neighborhoods. It's a giant big fuck you for him.
Yeah, well, it's really nicely put together. I mean, it's like, you really took... Looks good.
It was actually done on the fly. I've been working on this for a minute, though.
All right, well, thanks. I saw this big fuck you, it says. Again, we're just here at this anti-Trump rally. We're at one earlier. This is a second one. Folks just kind of like using a megaphone to talk about why they're here, why they're against Trump, what they want to do next. Anyways, we're here live in Chicago. We're going to show it to you, so thanks for joining us here at Unicorn Riot.
Oh yeah.
All right, again, we are here in Chicago. I'm going to give you like...
kids in cages, you say
we'll move over to the side here.
No kids in cages. Close the gap. 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 No kids in cages.
All right, let's go 1 second. Okay, it's October 28th, 5:57 p.m. here, Central Time, I guess, in Chicago, Illinois. Again, we're here in Chicago, a team from Unicorn Riot. If you don't know who we are, we're a 501c3 educational nonprofit. We're horizontally organized. We wanted to come here to cover the Chicago's teachers strike and SEIU strike that's been ongoing here. This is the 12th day. This is the anti-Trump protest. Not exactly connected, though. People here are saying it is completely connected. But the teachers were marching this morning. This sort of thing started happening in the afternoon. Again, if you haven't been following, we're here. We covered a Chicago Teachers Union Solidarity Rally on Saturday. Covered a few other events as well. And then on Monday today, we were there in the morning when the president of CTU was speaking about what's going on with the bargaining table. We then followed a group of youth, some students who marched on City Hall, held 40 minutes of silence around City Hall, and again protested in solidarity with their teachers. We've got a lot of interviews. You should probably look back at those, take a listen. Just look at our feed. We're on Twitter at @UR_Ninja. We're on Facebook, and so on and so forth. Anyways, we're going to stay here in Chicago, keep following the teachers strike, and keep bringing you other events. As long as we're able to do it. And again, the only way we're able to do this is with your support. We do everything with viewer support and donations. So if you look, we do have a fundraiser right now. We're asking for about $5. You get some stickers, magnet, and just like the feeling of supporting Unicorn Riot to bring you this frontline coverage. You saw what we did earlier today. We're going to keep doing that, but the only way to do it again is just with your support. So again, super thank you to everyone who has supported us so far. Wow, it's awesome. Like we're bringing this to you right now because of that. And anybody who wants to join that community, please do. Now is your time. We're going to take this feed down. Keep following us on Unicorn Riot. Check out unicornriot.ninja on the internet. And yeah, we're going to do our best to be covering. We're going to do our best to be live in the street tomorrow. We're hearing there's some marches that are going to be going on around the teacher strike. We're going to be there, hopefully in the front lines, live if everything works out. It worked out today. I don't know why it wouldn't work out tomorrow. So join us. Remember, hit follow, like, share. We are non-profit, non-commercial. The only way this is possible is with your support. Thanks again for watching.
Who